reducing toxins in the home and body, in your home and body. You're banned 1,328 chemicals from cosmetics. United States Food and Drug Administration bans 11 chemicals from cosmetics. So 1,300 to 11. This is a real good reflection of toxic chemicals in our environment, in our home in the United States. I'm Dr. Marty Furlong with Metris Natural Healing Center. We have our virtual wellness series today with Julie Danielson. Julie, you've got some great products that are really healthy for your home and body. Tell me about how did you get into this thing, Julie? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm an independent Norwex consultant. I've been using Norwex products for about 11 years. So the way I got started is a friend of mine, she had a Norwex party. I knew nothing about it, but she invited me because she knew I used vinegar water to do our hardwood floors. Sure. And that I didn't like toxic smells and things. So I was a great one to invite to a demo. Yeah. And I went, got my first set of products and absolutely loved them. So I followed up, hosted my own party. Norwex is really generous. I earned all these great products, including a mop. And then before my family was coming for a visit, I always need the whole house. So we have 3 finished levels, and it would normally take me all day Saturday to clean our house from top to bottom. So I did an experiment. I used my new Norwex products to see how long it would take me. It cut my cleaning time in half.
Oh, there's
So I was pretty sold, and then, no watery eyes, no sneezing, nothing that went with it. And so I was really sold. And then about 5 years ago, somebody invited me to join their team, and I thought, sharing these products with people is just a joy. So I jumped on board and been doing that ever since.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I have go ahead.
You've sparked my curiosity. Instead of vinegar water, what do I use on my wood floors?
Oh, well, we use our microfiber. So we have a mop that has a dry mop pad. So you use for dust bunnies and to get that stuff up first, and then you just Velcro off and use the wet mop pad. So I run it under my faucet, squeeze out the excess water, change pads, and then I go over it with the wet mop. And you've just cleaned your floor with microfiber. And the most common comment I get about my floors is, how come my socks don't stick to your floors? And I said, because I don't put anything on them that leaves a residue. So.
Oh, that's great. That's really healthy. That's great. All right. So now, this toxic world thing is amazing that in our clinic, I get to check bodies. What you're doing is you're expert in this house, keeping it non-toxic, but we work with bodies. I see a ton of bodies coming in with toxic chemicals associated with the hyper cleaning that's going on with the COVID pandemic right now. And the top thing I see is chlorine. So what do you see, or what do you can tell us about maybe your products and this toxic chlorine product that's out there?
Yeah, it's really interesting. The onslaught of toxins in our environment is so great right now that our bodies can't flush them all. The experts have even given it a term, and it's called body burden, which just means we have more toxins coming at us than we can flush. And so those toxins stick in our bodies and they attach themselves to our cells and they wreak havoc with our systems. So nothing good about that,
No.
The average home has 62 toxic chemicals in it. And we sort of unknowingly, because that's how we were all taught to clean, you need these chemical products. We walk them in our front door and just don't even know the damage they're doing to our body, our family's health,
That's called great marketing. Okay, go on. Sell the toxic chemicals. Now, do you have some tips how to start a non-toxic cleaning routine in a house? Do you have some tips on that?
I do. And this is really fun, I think, because I love to help people make small conscious choices where they can have a huge impact on their health. And you're really not changing a lot, I'm actually pretty passionate about this. And So yeah, I have some simple tips, 5 simple tips that you could make your home a lot healthier. And it's
good.
not a big investment and not big changes, but small, important changes. So the first
Perfect.
one I would say is to clean up your laundry products. Most of us would be surprised to know that our laundry room is actually one of the dirtiest rooms in our home. So a lot of the name brand products have many chemicals in them that aren't good for us at all. And there's a lot of information, confusing information, I think, out there about products, but a couple things that could simplify that for you. One, I'd find out what's in my products. I'd find out how they're rated. And there's a website called the Environmental Working Group, ewg.org, where you can go and see how your products are graded for how dirty or clean they are. That's a good thing to do. But another hint would be is if the person that manufactures your products isn't telling you about how clean their ingredients are and how good and how positive they are for your health, there's probably a lot that they don't want you to know. And to me, that's just a simple hint. Is if they're not telling you I have good ingredients, then they probably have something in there you would rather they didn't, Yeah,
that's great. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what you got to think about laundry products is what we wash our clothes in. A residue sits on our clothes, which we wear all day long, and against our skin. Plus, we sleep at night in sheets that we've laundered, right? So we have our clothes against us all the time that we've washed. And if our products leave a chemical residue, some of that has to be absorbed by our skin. I mean, it just makes sense. Then there's products like dryer sheets and fabric softener, which are actually designed to leave a residue on your clothes. So again, you're absorbing some of those chemicals, and there's nothing really good about that, at all. So a couple of simple tips I'd give you is to, one, shop from a trusted source. So kind of a personal philosophy of mine is if a manufacturer of a product isn't fully committed to my good health, I don't patronize them, And what that does is it makes a really short list for you of people who care about the health of their products, and it just makes life simpler, actually. So I would shop from a trusted resource. And for softening, for reducing wrinkles, like I'll use inexpensive white vinegar as my fabric softener. And then I'll use dryer balls as a mechanical option instead of the dryer sheets. And then you're also not creating any waste from your dryer balls, which is an added benefit,
Yeah, Julie, so I have to say with you came out to our clinic, you were part of a patient appreciation day we had. And we started with all dryer balls in our house after that experience. So good job on that one. That's nice.
All right. That's great. That's great.
Hey, how about that daily dusting duty that needs to be done? Is there something there that can help with this?
So a second tip I would have is to dust regularly. So dust is not only unsightly, it's pretty unhealthy. So think about what's in dust. So flame retardant that sloughs off your furniture. We bring in pollen on our clothes and we deposit it on our furniture. We slough off dead skin cells, and dust mites like to feed on those skin cells, which is kind of gross. And then there's dust mite feces that goes with that. So all of that is sitting in our dust. So when we see it, we should think toxic. So if we just dusted our homes more regularly, we've made a much healthier environment for our family to dwell in.
Julie, I think my wife sent you here because now I'm motivated to start dusting at home. I never do. She does it all. Perfect. You guys, this is good stuff. Okay. Hey, all right. Synthetic scents. Man, we see a lot of this all the time. What's your thoughts on that?
We do. Yeah. I would say to ditch the synthetic scents. So think about if a scent isn't from your kitchen or your garden or fresh herbs or from a quality essential oil, it's synthetic, likely, and so those concoctions are made of endocrine disrupting chemicals, which I know you can speak to much more specifically than me, but it's not good for us to have those chemicals in our lives. So air fresheners, all those kinds of things, my antenna goes right up when somebody says a scent will last a really long time. I get a little, little nervous about that. So a couple things you can do to remove bad smells. I would recommend enzyme sprays or a natural bamboo charcoal odor absorber. and they work great to remove the bad smells. And then if you want to add back good smells in a healthy way, there are lots of quality essential oils out there, which you can also diffuse. And so, that's a good option for good scents.
Very good. Yeah. Hey, this synthetic scents and endocrine disruptive chemicals, what it means, to the layman out there is that these chemicals confuse the body, think they're hormones, and it starts like you get a certain hormone, it sets you off on a different hormone track in your body, and it can really create havoc for your thyroid, your adrenals, your pituitary, your ovaries, reproductive cycle. So absolutely these hormone disrupting chemicals, what you just talked about, are really important. That's great.
Cool. Great.
Hey, is there a way to clean that's different than we're talking about applying things? Or a different thing mechanically?
Yeah. So I would recommend cleaning mechanically in any way that you can. So think tidying up a room is mechanical. Using a vacuum, using a broom. If you've got pebbles you want to pick up, you use a broom. So if we can use a high quality microfiber like Norwex to clean up grime and bacteria and smudges and, spills on the floor, most chemical sprays really aren't necessary. So you don't have them in your environment, and you don't spend the money to buy them. So it's like a win-win,
I have two things. I forgot to bring my microfiber cloth, and I want to show it off, and I forgot it. But the second thing is, why microfiber? Do you mind just giving me just a little info on that?
Yeah, so microfiber, it picks everything up. So there's a whole range of quality of microfiber. The minimum requirement is that the threads be 1/6 the width of a human hair, so they're microscopic, and that enables them to pick more up. Norwex microfiber, the fibers are 1/200th the width of a human hair. It's the densest microfiber on the market, so really, there's what I tell people is if you use a different version of microfiber, I would still recommend a cleaner with it, a non-toxic cleaner. The beauty of Norwex is you can use it with just water and pick everything up because of the high quality of the weave in our cloths. So it's a mechanical way to clean versus a chemical way.
And it's incredible how they clean. I know we use it in our house. It's incredible what they clean. It's great.
Cool.
Now, if someone were to use chemicals, is there a correct way to use them, or what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that's why I think we need to be very careful. Right now we're getting a lot of recommendations to use chemicals, and what I caution people is to use them as instructed, right? Okay, so sometimes people use, essential oils or vinegar mix or a bleach mix or different things to sanitize a surface or disinfect, okay? So you want to be sure you're using the right concentration for the job that you're doing. But many products, they'll have instructions on them. And the first thing they will say is wear a mask and wear gloves when you're using these products. So absolutely do those two things. That should tell you something. It tells you that they are toxic. So, but you're using them for a specific purpose, which is to kill bacteria that's on that surface or a virus or whatever you're doing, right? And so you need to use them as instructed. Most will say to keep the surface liquid and wet for 5 to 10 minutes. A lot of people forget that step, okay? But for them to be effective, you have to use them as instructed. So you keep your surface wet. And then the next thing they say is that if it's a food prep surface or if it's a surface where you're going to be feeding people a meal, right? You need to clean that residue off that surface, which I think is a lot of times the step that gets missed. And so what you're doing is you've killed what's on that surface, but you haven't cleaned that surface. And Norwex is the master of clean. So we're not the disinfectant, but we are the clean. And they're encouraging us too to keep our surfaces, our doorknobs, our light switches, everything clean. I use a damp microfiber cloth to do all of that.
Yeah, they work great. That's super. Yep. So, with all these great recommendations, we still see, let's say someone starts today going forward, less toxicity in their bodies, but what happened with what they used to have, and that's what we do in our clinic, is that we'll use a thing called nutrition response testing. basically it's a technique where we get to understand what toxins have accumulated in a body, and that's one thing. But then the way to get it out of the body would have gotten rid of that toxin if it could, but it can't. So that toxin stays in the body. You talk to those endocrine disrupting chemicals. All of a sudden, their hormonal system goes crazy. They're not sleeping at night. Person's having hot flashes. Their skin's breaking out. They're getting headaches. These are signs of this toxicity load building up in a body, and the body doesn't know what to do with it because a lot of these are synthetic, man-made chemicals. So nutrition response testing, we have two practitioners in our clinic, myself and Chelsea, who are advanced clinically trained. We're masters in this technique that we get to find out what toxins in there. Now, the secret is what will it take to get it out of the body? And that's the secret. We like to use whole organic type of substances put in supplement form that will let the body draw that bad junk out of the tissue and get it out of the body. So get the house clean, get the body clean is huge. We have a health coaching department here too that will now help steer you towards getting healthier organs. They'll get the body to self clean more and more and more as time goes on with good habits. So that's great stuff.
That's great.
Hey, Julie, we got some questions coming in here. Let me see which one is here, okay? It says, Julie, what is the number one product to clean you? What would you recommend for the number one cleaning product? What would you recommend?
Well, our Enviro cloth is where Norwex got its start, okay? So this is our highest quality microfiber, like I was telling you about before. There's more than 10,000 meters of thread in one cloth. So you can pick up to 7 times the weight of this cloth in water up with the cloth. So think when you have a spill, how many paper towels we used to use, right? And you can't believe how much water you can pick up with these cloths, but also you can use it for any surface you'd use a cotton cloth. So tubs and sinks and cupboard fronts and cupboards and countertops and floors, windows. Any surface you would clean, this gets it so clean, and that's just with water and the cloth. So you can pick up to 99.9% of bacteria off a surface with our cloths. Tons of science behind our cloths, and I would not be able to say that about any old microfiber, but I will say that about Norwex. It's been tested, tons of science behind this cloth.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, everyone has to have this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So another question came in saying, "Hey, Dr. Furlong, what's our like a great nutrition product to use when the body gets toxic?" And my statement on that one would be, I wish there would just be one magic pill for everybody, but I wish there isn't. It's like It's the actual magic pill, and that's what Julie's talking about. But once the toxins get into a body and can't get out, it is nice to have some tools, and we have tons of tools. We'll use things like carotid, PMG, and chlorella, or these things called HVS chemicals, or cleanse, which is a herbal blend. But the secret is which one works for your body, and that's what we do with nutrition response testing with that one. Okay, Julie, there is one more thing. You have a story to share about nutrition response testing and
I do.
Chemicals in your body. It was a great story you shared with me. Do you mind sharing that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So I've been a patient of Dr. Furlong's for 6.5 years, and he's gotten us on a really great path, a healthy path, which is I'm so thankful for. But about 2 years into working with him, when he trusted our food choices, so we tracked our food and we kept tweaking things until we knew we were eating the best things for my husband and myself to eat. And he trusted our food, but one day I came in for testing and you said, "Well, Julie, what else are you doing? Because I know you are making good food choices." And I said, "Well, I'm trying slowly to get all of the toxins out of my world. So think makeup products and all my skincare products. And so as I would finish a product, I'd replace it with a non-toxic version, you know? So this took me a while, obviously. It took me 2 years. But the fun thing for me was I didn't tell you I was doing that. And so when I came in to get tested that day and you said, "What else are you doing? Because your body keeps healing." And I told you about that that I was trying to get all the toxins out of my routine, my personal care routine.
Yeah, good
And
for you.
you actually were able to discern that I was doing that, which is amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. That's great. So good for you. So there's two things that go on there. Obviously, because I'm a practitioner, I trust nutrition response testing, the findings. It was so much fun to hear a patient like yourself go, "Oh my goodness, this stuff actually finds the toxin." There's a path. And the other thing I want to do, Julie, was I'm reinforcing good habits. Like, what are you doing that's making a difference? There's something you've done differently, and that's the health coaching portion of our practice. That's just that. So that's a great story. I love hearing that one too.
Yeah.
This is great. Julie, do you have anything else you would like to share with us today?
Okay. Yeah, I'll show a couple other quick products. This is our polishing cloth.
Yep.
So all of our microfiber has the same great quality, which is what's really neat, but we have different shapes and sizes for different purposes, right? Like you have different knives for different purposes in your kitchen, right? Yeah. So our polishing cloth, think anything you want to shine. So windows, chrome, stainless steel appliances, my ceramic top stove, it works amazing. So you need these two cloths. This is our basic package. Every home needs at least these two cloths at a minimum. I love our dusting mitt because this is a mechanical way to dust without using a chemical spray. So you just put it on your hand. It's kind of fun. It's in a fun shape. You rub it like this to create an electrostatic charge, and then you just wipe the dirt right off your surface. And what you'll find is when you stop putting a chemical spray down, it leaves a residue and acts like a magnet for dust. You won't need to dust as often.
I agree.
But you also won't be sneezing when you're dusting, which is...
Julie, I see all these three products in my house all the time. Like I said, I'm so spoiled. So that's great. My wife loves them. I can tell you that. And I'm going to have to get into it deeper myself.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Can I tell you about one more?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you got?
So this is our laundry detergent. This bag right here. So Norwex is so committed to making clean products that every product that we make is tested, and if they find an ingredient that they think is marginal, it gets removed and replaced. I mean, they're just really committed to it. I love that about the company. Yeah. But this bag, our laundry detergent is true, free, and clear, and this is a top seller. I sell so much laundry detergent. It's very effective, and I use a teaspoon in my high efficiency washer. So you can get 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so you can get 100 to 150 loads out of this bag, which is $24.99, right? Wow. Or with a regular washer, you can get 60 to 90 loads out of this bag.
Wow, that's amazing.
And there's no parabens, there's no SLS, SLES, sulfates, no scents, no dyes, no animal testing, no chlorine, no bleach. It is truly free and clear. And what's great, when you mix it with water, it completely dissolves. So you're not junking up your washing machine, you're not putting any junk down the drain, and you're cleaning your clothes. And one of my customers, she was so cute, after she'd used it for a while, she said, "There's no residue on my clothes. I just love it." So,
hey, I'm going to put you on the spot about a question.
Sure.
We have a septic system. Do you have any feedback about that detergent septic system?
I would trust this for any type of fabric and any system. It is just, that's what I do, because then you're not putting any junk down. I'd absolutely use this for that. Yep.
That's great. Yep. Perfect. That's good. Did you have something else there yet?
Well, I was going to say that we sell these plus our elbow grease in a jar, which is our cleaning paste, 5 products for $99 plus shipping and tax. And so with these 5 products, you can really convert a lot of rooms of your home, get rid of a lot of chemicals. $99 just in the paper towels that you save and don't have to buy and don't throw away. Yeah. The turnaround is it's so quick that that's awesome. Yeah. So this one.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. Hey, Julie, this is great information. So if someone wanted to get hold of you, how would they get hold of you?
Best way is really my website, and I think they will put this in the feed so you can see it if you don't catch it from me, but it's www.Julie Danielson, all scrunched together. Danielson is SON, .Norwex, NORWEX.biz. So I think she'll put that down there so you can see it if you didn't catch it. Julie Danielson at .norwex.biz. And what you'll see when you get to my webpage, my name is up in the corner, and there's a little button that says Contact Me. So if you have questions about our products, or you have a cleaning challenge you don't know how to fix with a non-toxic method, or you say, oh, I've never hosted a demo because my house is small or my friends and family are so spread out.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a format like this, Facebook Live or Zoom, would be a good way for you to host a party. Who knows? But reach out to me. I would love to help you in any way that I can.
Oh, these are great, Julie. That's awesome. So I'm Dr. Marty Furlong, and our clinic is Metro East Natural Healing Center. And we're located in Oakdale, Minnesota, but we actually service patients through the whole Midwest. And through our virtual services that we offer here, we actually see people nationwide. This morning, I worked with one patient out of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. It's about 4 hours away. Another one in Dallas, Texas, and across the nation. So in other words, people can benefit from all these services many different ways. Our contact is info@nutritionchiropractic.com. Julie, this has been such a great session here. This is our virtual wellness series that we're doing. Thank you for your time. I get to enjoy your summer months coming up here, hopefully, right?
Yep. Thank you so much.
Very good, Julie. We're going to sign off here. Bye now.
Bye-bye.